I think today's deck is really sweet, and hopefully it plays out that way. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. And today Edison has asked me to play a deck that has Lotus Petal, Mox Amber, Mox Opal, and Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. And when I originally sat down to brew this, I was a little stumped about what to do with the tail end of the deck list. And I didn't just want to tread the ground that I had already done before. So we previously tried a Mox Amber, Mox Jasper, Mox Opal deck list in Modern that was attempting to be a Song of Creation combo deck list. And that had some potential, but there were definitely some problems there. And so my mind was going in the direction of how do I, A, convert this into Legacy, and B, just make this so this isn't just a worse version of an already existing combo deck, because we already have Beseech the Mirror decks that can go and tutor up Song of Creation relatively consistently. And I think I was trying to build too unfair of a deck list. And it turns out that if you just don't try to max out on both Mox Opal and Mox Amber, you can actually build a pretty neat looking fair deck list. And I'm going to credit, I think Punishing Waterfalls was the first person I saw seeing this, and the Lands NL was the most recent person I saw with results with this deck list. And I think I paired into one of the two of them recently. And I think this is actually how you build a competitive deck that has Tamiyo and Lotus Petal and Mox Amber and Mox Opal. Now, maybe we don't get to max out on all of them, and I'll talk about that in a second, but this deck actually looks really sweet. This deck is hoping to cast multiple spells each turn. Cori-Steel Cutter, as we have seen, can be an absolute menace if you are cantripping. And Isaac over here will draw you a card whenever you cast a historic spell, and again, those are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. And this is a threat that can become unblockable and keep scaling up each turn. Conveniently, Tamiyo and Emry are both wizards, and I know Edison has a sweet spot for this card, a soft spot for this card. So we can use Tamiyo plus Flame to go ahead and get the Planeswalker side of this, or we can just use Flame of Anor to keep fueling our various things that pay us off for casting spells. And Flame of Anor and Emry are going to keep those spells coming, as are our various baubles. Now, I took a look at a couple of builds of this before I decided on the one that I was going to play. You can go up to 4 Mox Opal in the deck, and if you do so, you probably drop 1 Flame of Anor and one of these 2 tutor targets in the main deck. Otherwise, most of what's here looks pretty stock, or at least as close to that as we can say for a bit of a fringe brew. Sideboard's full of some generically good stuff that you would see out of a 3-color control deck here. We're going to have a little bit of capabilities of changing our interaction points, which a lot of times might mean boarding out some of these tutor targets, or maybe boarding out Galv Blast for more counterspells or something of that nature. One thing that I was really impressed by was Tamiyo plus Urza's Saga. That generates so much damage, and I'm actually, I think, gonna make one change, because someone absolutely bodied me the other day by going Tamiyo into Urza Saga into Lava Spur Boots attack, and I just absolutely did not realize how much damage was coming. So let's junk a Hydroblast and move the Shadow Spear to the sideboard. This will let us go and Goldfish a little bit more quickly. Plus, Lava Spur Boots and Emry is like nothing to sneeze at either. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into some Magic here. Folks, if you need any Magic cards, please consider checking out my sponsor. I love TOAMagic.com. They are great to work with, and I mean that as both a content creator and a consumer of their stuff. Promo code ThrabenU will save you 5% on your order. If you're going to MagicCon Atlanta, consider placing your order in advance and picking it up on site, and it is super, super convenient. All right. Let's battle. Okay, my opening hand is pretty solid here. The primary question is going to be how many baubles do I cycle immediately in respect of things like the size of Urza's Saga. Ooh, buddy. So next turn, play Urza Saga, play Lava Spur Boots. What deck are you on? Okay, so you are on Energy BS. And what counterspells do I have main? I have just Force. I have just Force. I think I am okay redrawing both. See what I pick up. Bauble and Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal can let me flame immediately. Never mind. I mean, that's why I wanted to counterspell. Okay, this is fine. So, yeah. There's not a way to do this to trigger immediately, since I don't have red mana from a land. I will live with that. Because Cori-Steel Cutter is your second spell each turn. I think I will hold Bauble here. Aww. Ooh, opponent has Tamiyo. I have an answer to that, although not immediately. I think I will hold Bauble in hopes of doing something with Cori-Steel Cutter here. But losing that Emry at the beginning was a little rough, and losing the Urza Saga afterwards to Wasteland was really tough. So my opponent's going to get some stuff going here. Arid Mesa. It's my guess that my opponent is Jeskai, and the blue exists for probably Tamiyo and Mockingbird. Yeah, you got it. I don't have a Bowmaster or anything to punish that. Although I think if you're going to do it, you just do it on your own turn, because it gives you 2 more loyalty on this and gets the Tamiyo minus ability active, which, spoilers, is relevant here. Because now I just have an active 2/2 that gets to kill this Tamiyo, which I don't have if my opponent does it on their own turn and pluses. Or at the very least, I have to work for it more. What are you drawing? Just a land. I think I am okay with a draw 2 here. A little awkward if I draw Urza Saga since I just made my land drop already. Not punished. I think I am okay with casting this, but I hold Bauble. Fantastic. Graveyard is absolutely full of toys. I imagine we're going to get an elegant parlor here. No, wrong call. An opponent likes that card. So I've got a redraw. I've guaranteed another monk next turn. Tamiyo is fine. Brainstorm is annoying. So now Tamiyo can plus, but I don't know if that's actually going to be enough to save the Tamiyo. A prismatic ending. Well, I mean, bad news. Yeah, on Boots. Cast Boots, that's my first spell. Cast Bauble, that's my second spell. I have a 1-power creature. I have a 2-power creature. I'll do this. There's a Wasteland coming. Most of the time I cast multiple spells next turn anyway, as long as my Emry sticks around. Let's attack in at Tamiyo. Get rid of most of Tamiyo's loyalty. And then I think shuffle the Boots over to Emry. I'll take my redraw. It's an Otawara. That does cost 1 less because of Emry. Wasteland's not a big deal. My opponent might not even use it. They might want to wait to use that on an Urza Saga. Or just honestly use it to crack a clue. Ajani is fine. And Mockingbird, sure. Are we just going to get a Planeswalker here? Yes. This will definitely be in the range of a little annoying. Tamiyo pluses and Ajani pluses. I think the scariest thing that's going on right now is this ultimate. So I think I probably end up bouncing that creature to hand. Let's play something that's going to give me a redraw. There's my second spell. Do I actually want to attach that? This is a 2/3 creature attacking in that I can move the Boots to. I can have a 4-power creature attacking in that's really a 3-power creature. Or I move the monk. Sorry, move the Cori-Steel Cutter to the other monk. What if I bounce a token and then swing out at a Planeswalker? not dealing 5. Yeah, I think I don't move that. I think I am going to move Boots here, go to combat, send at the Tamiyo. This is a 3-power creature. We're just going to trade with one of those. This is fine. So then let's get that Planeswalker out of play. And I maybe don't need to move these. I want to cycle this. Marsh Flat's coming. I guess Tamiyo could be cashed in for a minus, in which case let's make it as inconvenient as possible to remove Emry. Take a redraw. Island is not what I want to see. Okay, the Tamiyo is being cashed in, but on Brainstorm rather than Swords to Plowshares, which might be an indication that my opponent is unhappy with the lands that are currently in their hand. We are probably in for a good, long, honest, grindy game of Legacy here. And I'm so on board with that. Alright, so there's the Ajani. So is there another one or another Mockingbird to create the Planeswalker? No, it's Prismatic Ending. Which does exile, so I don't get to just get that back. Seems good. That's a 3/2 creature. I have oh no, 0/3. That's a that is a 2/1 base cat, not a 1/1 base cat. You got it. 18. New Tamiyo. I think I'm gonna Emry a spell bomb here. Cast spell bomb. Target you. And then this is an immediate card draw. Hello? Magic Online? So I'll draw a card. I'll play an Urza's Saga, which I am fine with. I don't want to give my opponent a Planeswalker as of right now. The Planeswalker is kind of scary. So I think I'm just going to crash in and take the extra clue token here. I can turn Tamiyo into a Planeswalker by drawing a card with this clue. I think I'm okay with that. Don't really want that delta. I will just plus there and pass. The hope is that Urza's Saga does a lot of work here. Brainstorm's fine. I'll probably be pretty aggressive in using Force of Will. I don't know, maybe it's wrong to transform the Tamiyo in the face of the Wasteland over there. I'm not a deck with very much removal, which makes me way scareder of this card than the average Legacy deck, I think. Because my Fatal Pushes are in the sideboard, and I guess I have Galvanic Blasts that I just have not seen yet. Okay. Yeah, Galvanic Blast would be pretty sweet at this stage. Cracking a clue. There goes Saga. Tamiyo shrinks these. And I think I'm just going to let Tamiyo hit here. It's not lethal on Tamiyo. That cannot happen. This Emry is way too important. Oh shit, it's Galv Blast. Let's fucking go. Plus there, just... I don't need to do that immediately. Let's take that immediate Spell Bomb redraw again. So play, Prowess trigger, cycle for the immediate card draw. Oh, that's a lot of land. Do I have a Surveil land? No, I do not. Yeah. Send it. Opponent's at 12. Let's take that out. I missed a point of damage there. Fetch, get a red source, move those boots back over. That was sloppy on my end. So my Tamiyo will go down, but like that Tamiyo bought me so much life that I think things are fine overall. Ocelot Pride is fine if it's by itself. If it starts bringing friends, we'll talk. Oh, hell yeah. I would like 2 cards. I would like 5 damage to that Ocelot Pride. Yeah. Ooh, that all went through. Love that for me. So yeah. Triggers. Draw a card. Fuck yeah. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus prowess. 3, 6, 10, 11. I don't think I have to get the kill right here. Send it. No, I think I'm just going to deal this much. I'll get that +1/+1 counter. I will hold these on the off chance that my opponent plays something like a Guide of Souls that could gain them a bunch of life that I want to interact with. Okay, very long game, but we do get there. GG, let's do some more things that answer those planeswalkers, though, huh? Fatal Push for the creature side seems good. Pyroblast for Tamiyo is fine. Shadow Spear is acceptable. Disruptor Flutes might be acceptable. I think I'm going to take Spellbomb out. I think I'm going to take Force of Wills out. This game is much more about the long term here. Spellbomb giving me the immediate card draw was very good. It's not like it has no text, though. But I think I'm going to get rid of that. Shadow Spear on my large Urza Saga Construct tokens feels like it might matter. I'm going to do that. Disruptor Flute is perfectly fine. It's not super efficient, but it is going to stop things that I'm scared of. Very quick mulligan here, whereas this is fine. This is perhaps expendable in the short term. I am a little behind on clock, not in a way that I am super afraid currently, but cognizant that I am behind. Guide of Souls is fine. I think I am just going to assume that I always want that thing dead and kill it on site. I'm also okay just cycling these. There's some things that I could get. I will wait. I don't have Force of Will anymore. I don't have to take the other redraw immediately. Anyway, there's some things like Cori-Steel Cutter that I could find that I would be very happy to wait on. Ooh, double Ocelot Pride. Seems good. Polluted Delta coming for my opponent. Hopefully I find something that interacts here. That is a Cori-Steel Cutter that does not interact immediately. I, in fact, think I am not playing that immediately. I think I am trying to set up Flame of Anor, draw 2, kill an Ocelot Pride next turn. Fuck. Yep. There is a very good chance that this one is just over quickly. My opponent gets 2 more cats here. Maybe I draw a 0-drop or a 1-drop. Okay, cool. Okay, let's do this. Spell 1, spell 2, and then hold the Mox to cast next turn. Surveil land? A Daze, punished for holding the Mox. I am not the aggro deck here, so I'm going to hold. I've lost Cori-Steel Cutter to Prismatic Ending. I will just trade for a cat. I am not the beatdown right now. I would like to keep my opponent from getting to the City's Blessing here, if at all possible, because they're getting close. So there's a Flame. As of right now, I can have a 2/2 Urza Saga token, which can block a cat. I think that's just where I'm at. This is not mana yet. Ponder's fine. Tamiyo is scary, because I can't pressure it back if my opponent just draws some more cards, which they do. Now my opponent has the combination of a Wall of Cats and a Tamiyo ability protecting. And I think if I go after the Tamiyo there, these cats just eat me alive. I am trying to discourage my opponent from attacking. Not successful. So I would love to block and kill an Ocelot Pride, Pithing Needle a Tamiyo, and then have 2 large creatures. Okay, opponent's chilling. I make a friend. I've got a 2/2. Ooh, fuck yeah. I make a friend. I've got a 3/3. Pithing Needle. I need to Pithing Needle to the backside. I've got a 4/4. I've got an Urza Saga Construct token. I don't think I attack here. And then my hope is that I just make large Construct tokens for a couple of turns, and then get Shadow Spear, get Trample, and we're done. Fantastic. Cool. Fatal Push is not bad either. I'll just pass my turn still. I think I'll just pass my turn still. I could, maybe start attacking in here. I think I am about to have an overwhelming advantage. City's Blessing is online. I will make larger friends. 5/5s. So I will make more friends. I'll search. I think I'm going to do Shadow Spear even if I don't use it immediately. I think with 3 of these back, I'm good starting to send in at face. I'll start taking out some cats. But I think pass the turn and go after Tamiyo in upkeep. Underground Sea. Go for Tamiyo. I might get dazed here. I get spell pierced. That's fine. Oh, that's unfortunate for my opponent. They've brainstormed, which is going to transform the Tamiyo and legend rule one of the Tamiyos and turn the Tamiyo that could have made a clue into a brick because of Pithing Needle. So my opponent will keep the one that already has 4 loyalty. I don't think they get to wasteland me. That is a Swords to Plowshares on a cat token, wastelanding me. So they're just trying to get a bunch of blockers. Sure. There's a Mox Opal. These are all bigger. I will equip Shadow Spear to one of these. This is a 9/9. Send that at face. I'm just very afraid of these making more cats. I think that's my opponent's way back into this game is I overcommit to the attack and my opponent gets back in the game. I'd like to deal 5 damage to a... No, I wouldn't. Alright, there's Tamiyo. Send in at face. Opponent takes that again. Now, with Tamiyo in play, I get a better line. I draw 2 cards. I kill one of these because Mox Amber is on. Cool. Mine is now off, but my opponent's fine conceding there. And I get the match win. GG's. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com. If you want to see upcoming sets, if you want to understand commander brackets, or if you just want an awesome place to store all, and I mean all, of your deck lists, Moxfield is the place. You can organize all of your decks by folders, and you can even change the views. You like visual, they've got that. You like text, they've got that. Check out my Moxfield Profield if you want to see all, and I mean all, of the decks that I've been cooking up. Okay, my hand is a little awkward. I don't know if it's worth mulliganing if I can play this and immediately get a redraw with it next turn, but this is not as explosive as other opening hands that I have access to are. Basic island and pass from my opponent. I think I am interested in not drawing more lands, and I always know that one of these needs to be an underground sea. Yeah. 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 Force pitching Brainstorm. I think I'm willing to fight there. It's a little weird because I'm pitching an Emry, which is also a premium card. So take my redraw. Force of Will is not what I am looking for. And opponent brainstorms. With blue-white here, that means that this is significantly less reliable than I might like. That's also not the best. I'll pass the turn. I can Force of Will something scary that comes down if my opponent plays a 3-drop Planeswalker or something like that. Not going to fight over anything that looks like that. I would in fact prefer not to fight at all, because my Force of Wills are very close to hard castable if I just brick on draws. Undra, sure. And we're not a Brainstorm deck, so then away. Without the ability to cast the second spell here, I think I will just chill and hold Force of Will up. No guarantee that my opponent will bite. Yeah. Now I'm comfortable doing this. Followed up with a Tamiyo, trigger Cori-Steel Cutter. Opponent's responding. That's just targeting themselves, draw 2 cards. They did not choose to just destroy my Cori-Steel Cutter. I'm gonna force this. Just gut feeling, I'm gonna Force of Will that. Minor misstep, so that'll go down to my Tamiyo. Yes. Punchies. 4/2. 16. There's Plateau. 4th Airlingas. Hate that. I was just going to attack with 1 to become the Monarch. I'm just going to hold here. I had too many good cards. That's another good card. If the last card is Flame of Anor, I probably just concede. Yeah. I think I'm going to concede to active Tamiyo and my Cori-Steel Cutter being destroyed. I could try to grind out from here, but I don't think that is a good use of my time. Pyroblasts and Hydroblasts both hit Flame of Anor. Those are very efficient answers there. Snapcaster Mage is occasionally a flex slot in these lists, but not all the time. Assume that these games are long enough and grindy enough where that's not super necessary. And I think I'm still going to do some other things that address Tamiyo, and I'm just going to decide whether it's Fatal Push or Disruptor Flute. I'm going to try to answer the creature side. This is fine. I would not mind drawing another non-Urza's Saga land here. Opponent just passing the turn. That's kind of like what I asked for. Land drop. We're going into red here. For Cori-Steel Cutter. Opponent fetches. Rainstorms, that's fine. Lotus Petal now gets me my Monk. I don't think I play the other Lotus Petal right now. I think I am hoping to play multiple spells next turn, or potentially use a Lotus Petal to make an Urza Saga token. Alright, Pyroblast does not stop that, so resolves. Underground Sea is totally fine. I have a line where I blow both Lotus Petals this turn. I think I am going to take that line. I would like this in play and drawing me cards. There's an Emry. That's really good. I think I will just take my Urza's Saga value in the short term, though. I can draw a card off of Isaac in a minute. Alright, that does not get impacted by Pyroblast. That's fine. I'll answer it if a Pyroblast goes on, or sorry, a Brainstorm goes on the stack, but otherwise I just want my tokens. So there we go. Now, yeah, these are 2/2s. Kind of into Mox Opal, kind of into Tamiyo. Sorry, Pithing Needle for Tamiyo. Let's go Mox Opal, and I think just attempt the Fatal Push. I can still Pyroblast the backside if my opponent does Brainstorm in response. And if my opponent Brainstorms in response, I can just kill it too, right? Like, this is just a healing salve. So, send it Tamiyo, send it face. It's not even a healing salve, it's a heal for 2. That's fine. 4th land drop. Ponder's fine. I don't want something like Dress Down or Wrath of the Skies that can clear out multiple creatures at the same time. Not the most worried about something like... Yeah, that's exactly what I'm worried about. That just takes 4 of my permanents. That's actually a very good draw. That reduces the cost of Emry by 1 in a very relevant way. When will my Pyroblast do something? My body is ready for 4th Aerlingas. I'm okay with the trade. Just not going to give my opponent that selection there. Well, alright. You got it. I was trying to avoid that body being in play because it makes Flame of Anor noticeably better. And my opponent has a swords for this Emry. 8 that. I mean, I'll play it and force the issue. Dang, those were some good cards we milled over. Yeah. Ponder's fine. I think you ponder first there. That way, if you hit Flame, you can get your draw 2 and kill my creature at the same time. Urza Saga is a fine draw here. Again, the Dress Downs and the Wrath of the Skies of the world are problematic. I would prefer if my opponent did not draw 4th Aerlingas. But 1 damage from an Otter is a-okay. Flame. Cool. I think I take my Urza Saga value for now. Yep. That occurs. Land drop from the opponent. Oh shit, they do have Snapcaster Mage. Yep. Then they could have waited to Wrath of the Skies. Oh, they're just going to do it now. So it does hit the enchantments. I'm just going to go ahead and float a mana. And then I'll pivot and turn this into a draw 2. Those are reasonable cards. Not unhappy with that. An opponent ponders. Taking 1 or even 3 in combat is not a very big deal. I wish I could get rid of another one of these, though, and not have my opponent's flames being draw 2s. Opponent's Wrath of the Skies just so happening to take out a bunch of my mana, in addition to everything else, means that I'm, like, at a severe disadvantage in terms of, like, a Tamiyo clue cracking war. And I'm not gonna crack this yet. I'll crack this on my opponent's turn at some point. Right now, in fact. Prismatic Vista coming. Nullrod is fine and good. Oh, there's more. Another Thundertrap Trainer. Or a Swords. Yep, no, that's very good. At this point, I'm going to Galv Blast a Snapcaster Mage as a Band-Aid. It does not feel good. So the reason that we take out Snapcaster is so that if I happen to be able to flip a Tamiyo, these are 1 power creatures. That's a bird. An alt art to Fairy Time Raveler. Okay, they're just dirtling. They're just bouncing Thundertrap Trainer for value. Getting a Hydroblast. You've got it. I'll go to combat. You know what, we'll send 0 at Teferi. Send a message. My clues can't be activated, but they do have some purposes. So for example, they reduce the cost of Emry by 1. My graveyard is pretty stacked, but I don't necessarily expect my creatures to stay alive. And it's slightly less important that my graveyard is stacked if the activated abilities of those various artifacts are not online. About the best thing that I have access to right now is just pithing needling a Teferi or whatever. Flame is good. Nope, Prismatic Ending is good. I'll take some damage. Fairy pluses. So I've got a 3/3 Saga token immediately. And now I guess that the Pithing Needle being in the graveyard is a negative, right? Because I can't fish it out to shut off Teferi. So there's that. Oh, that is it with Offspring. So now my opponent is going to do this and get a copy. There's a Flame. Okay. It feels kind of like I'm conceding to that Wrath of the Skies. Like, what am I doing? I'm going to put this indirectly into my graveyard. Face. Opponent will block with their token that they're about to lose to Wrath of the Skies anyway. Alright, there's Wrath of the Skies. Opponent just doing it for 0. I think they can probably do it for 1 there and take out the boots too. That said, I absolutely do not think that it matters. Another Thundertrap Trainer. That's a full squad. 4th Airlingas. Okay, I think I just concede to that. I think my opponent has demonstrated that they just fully have this one. GG's. Okay, I could use a little bit more mana here, but I have 3 different sources of card advantage versus presumably Grixis control. James does one thing. Does it very, very fucking well. But I know we're here to dirtle. And this is a dirtle league, right? Like, wasn't that 2 Jeskai Wizards in a row into Grixis control? So I'm going to go ahead and do this and just throw Emry out there. If Emry lives, I can rebuy that Lotus Petal next turn. And if Emry doesn't live, then I have a chance for Tamiyo to start doing Tamiyo things. It looks like Grixis. 18 and a Lightning Bolt. That's fine. Ponder afterwards. Saga. Saga doesn't cast Isaac, which is, I guess, a thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and just put this in play in respect of something like Snapcaster Mage. And then hopefully I just draw another landing and I can funnel mana into this. 17. Play around Snapcaster Mage, get got by Ethereal Forager. I do not have Metalcraft yet. I can get it. Oh, but I can't get it and cast Galblast because I don't have red yet. Okay, then we approach this a different way. There's Spellbomb, bounce Forager to hand, send in with Tamiyo, and just be slightly unhappy that I'm not getting maximum Urza Saga value. Hopefully I just do cool things with Isaac in a little while. And maybe I stabilize my mana with a Mox Opal. This is fine. I'm not gonna, like, go in on trying to stop the Ethereal Forager that aggressively. What do I feel about protecting the Tamiyo, though? I'm into protecting the Tamiyo. Isaac is a little hard to cast right now, and I don't have the immediate follow-up fuel. It's awkward, obviously, if this is just like a fatal push afterwards. Ponder is fine. Oh, I drew Mox Opal. Okay, we're doing something different then. So, yeah. Boots. Boots. Opal. Black mana. Nuke your graveyard. I know you've got the whale. There's Force of Will. Equip. Crack Clue. Crack Clue. Look for something to pair with Force of Will. Cori-Steel cutter. Oh, fuck. That's fine, I guess. That's not where I was going, though. Now I don't have that extra mana for Mox Opal. There was probably a cleaner way to do all of that. I've got my graveyard at my disposal. I think we're just sending Tamiyo to the moon, though, protected by Force of Will. That can resolve. I can't actually cast Galv Blast. Then I don't think that can resolve. Yeah, I probably had a better way to navigate that turn. Flame to dust. Sure. Strix attack doesn't do anything into the Tamiyo trigger unless my opponent has Kaito. Damn it. Yeah. Down to 3. And then this can get the redraw if my opponent doesn't have anything else to do with the mana. Oh, reanimate. Sure. Oh, going at my face rather than Tamiyo. There's timelines where I just cash in Tamiyo for a Force of Will. Not this timeline, though. Tamiyo to 5. The Kaito's a 3/4, which is effectively 1 less power than that. Oh, fuck. I'm not too bad off if I hit a red land to cast the Cori-Steel Cutter, or something that turns on Mox Opal. But this is not great. That's tough. Or a Force of Will. You've got it. I think missing there, I am comfortable conceding now. So let's go Force of Will out. Pyroblast for Kaito in. Fatal Push for Bowmaster in. Think about Disruptor Flute, mostly for Kaito. Hydroblast is not crazy. I think I'm going to go down the Mox Amber. My opponent's doing a pretty good job of killing my creatures. Yeah, I don't need push. Maybe Galv Blast plus Flame is enough for Bowmasters specifically. This is another mana light hand, but it gets a couple of very fast redraws. So we'll double bobble and throw down Emry. Fast Force of Will. So now we'll just take some redraws. I know a Bowmaster is coming. I think I'm gonna play for the information here. 1 redraw. I would like another land. And do this again. Sure. So 2 looks at a land here. Not quite. This is all just incredibly awkward. I will play out some stuff so that I obtain Metalcraft for Pyroblast, and then just pass the turn. And a Surveil land. Opponent has Bowmaster available, which is admittedly pretty annoying. This deck does not operate well on low mana. I think I'm just going to pass the turn. So there's the Bowmaster, and I think this is just a sad removal spell. I want to grind this out towards my win, excuse me. There's land drop. I'll take some damage. Fuck! Kaito's good. I'm at 16. Now my opponent gets to start accruing advantage. So there's Metalcraft. There is Pyroblast for Kaito. I am generally unhappy about this state of affairs. I might just need to be mulliganing. Wow. Hands that are tight on mana. I'm used to those being relatively keepable from the 8-cast perspective, but it is just not feeling like that is the case here. If nothing else, my opponent can just Brazen Borrow or Petty Theft this out of play as a tempo play. There's a Bowmaster. Hate that. 14. Yeah. Stumbled a bit there, and I'm really feeling it. That is not castable. Without any artifacts. Thank you, Meltdown. And I'm taking a beating just from Bowmasters. Like, 2 damage a turn is very real right now. That Disruptor Flute doesn't do much. I could cast it to make my Emry castable. That sure doesn't feel good, though. So I'll cast this. I think I am just going to name... I think I'm going to name Brazen Borrower to just keep that from coming in and clocking me right now. I'll hold the Lotus Petal because Cori-Steel Cutter is a thing that exists in my deck. Then I'll pass here. Lightning Bolt my face. Hate it. Snapcaster Lightning Bolt my face. Hate that too. I'm dead. Yep, we stumbled. My opponent took advantage of it. GG's. Well, buckle up. We are potentially playing against another Dirtle pile. Strifo is very known for decks that are honestly just called Strifo pile, that are a pile of interesting value-oriented cards. What am I most interested in here? I think Tamiyo. I'm interested in Tamiyo. So we'll go Volk and Tamiyo. And I try to do Tamiyo plus Urza Saga as my intended game plan. No, we're not dealing with that shit. Damn it, we are dealing with that shit. That's pitching Atraxa, so my opponent's going to have Archon of Cruelty. The good news is I've got a Tamiyo, and there's no way that that could possibly go wrong. Grefo, you've betrayed me. I was expecting a cool pile of cards, and instead, I got this. Goodbye, Galv Blast. Here's the good news. I technically have something that kind of answers Archon of Cruelty. So there's Spellbomb, and I will return that Archon to hand. So, short-term problem solved. Maybe I'm supposed to play Urza Saga that turn, actually. I think I messed up. I think I want that ticking up towards Spellbomb immediately, rather than trying to, like, wait another turn to see if I can draw black mana to cast this. So now the Archon's back in the deck. Hapless Researcher. Never mind, the Archon is in hand. Fuck. That's inconvenient. Alright. I could have an Urza Saga on 2 here. It might not matter if my opponent just gets in immediately and then reanimates. But if my opponent doesn't have it yet... Alright, well... Sewers. Ponder. Yeah, that races my Spellbomb even if I play this on the correct turn. You're going. I can at least play out the Mox Amber to grow a theoretical Urza Saga token. So I've used my Spellbomb. I don't have a second Spellbomb. Not technically dead to the attack, but this is very bad. There's Archon. I am at 2. Brainstorm. Delta to clear. Entomb. Atraxa was pitched to Force of Will. Oh my god, there's a second Archon of Cruelty. Yeah, so opponent's build is just different. I'm dead there. The Hapless Researcher is not just a singleton, it is a real part of the deck. Gross. Okay. Bury in, Surgical in. I guess I can think about these as well. Pithing Needle goes. Mox Amber goes. Something like that. That is not valid mana. I have counterspells forever, but I'm just not doing anything. Well, we will try to believe. Seat, Mox Opal, Lotus Petal, Tamiyo, Emry, all on turn 1. That seems fine. Yeah, Petal, Opal. Which one is the bait? I think my Emry is my bait. Then we will actually resolve Tamiyo, which is very good with the Urza Saga that I have here. Verdant Catacombs. Hapless Researcher. Another Tamiyo. Okay. Send in. For 0. I think I'll just pass the turn here. And accrue the clues for Urza Saga purposes. I'm just trying to end this game. Ugh. That's a Grizzlebrand. Ponder's fine. With the Grizzlebrand in the yard now, this might need to be a Spellbomb rather than Lava Spur Boots. There's a Bauble that I could have cycled if I did things a little differently. Send it. So 2 mana towards this leaves me with 1 mana and technically a Mox Opal too if I need it. Guess I just have Spellbomb coming too. I always cast the Bauble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Do I have Lava Spur in the deck still? I do. I think I'm going to hold here in hopes of basically killing my opponent next turn. Yes. There's an Archon. I'm going to hold. There's land drop. Exhume. Awkward, but I don't think I flinch. I'll mill my 4. I just have an answer to this coming, and the hope is that my opponent now can't put in Archon of Cruelty. They have exactly enough to be able to reanimate it if that was one of the cards, but as soon as they draw another set, they can't reanimate anymore. That's fine. So, yeah. I just need to bounce both of these creatures, which is doable. My opponent's going to discard a ton of cards. So I will float a mana, get a spell bomb a Grizzlebrand to hand, yeah. And then I've got it. Well, this is scary. Opponent's build is cool. Do I want something like Disruptor Flute for Grizzlebrand? Or even Pithing Needle for Grizzlebrand? I think I'm more likely to tutor up Spellbomb or other Spellbomb or Boots than Needle. I'm gonna try this. It's possible I should like pull one Isaac for one more Flame of Anor. This is fine. This has multiple pieces of Graveyard Hate and a turn 1 Emry. Yes, that's very annoying. But hopefully not the end of the world here. Yeah. There's Emry. Emry is in play. There's a Spellbomb. Alright, in play. So let's try to find something that addresses this Tamiyo. There's a Sewers. I will take both draws immediately. So redraw 2. Those aren't great. I have a Bobble that I can use for redraws, and that's something. Surveil's fine. Yeah. My own Tamiyo. With 2 layers of protection, I don't think I also need to hold Force. I am okay with Bobble. Rack Bobble. Ooh, opponent does have Lotus Petal coming. I'll play Tamiyo and pass there. Take my redraw. Otawara's not bad. It helps if something like a Goyf starts getting involved. There's Delta. There's Petal. Tamiyo doing Tamiyo things. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and block your Tamiyo, which is probably just strategically correct because of things like Kaito that exist. Even if my opponent is unlikely to be playing them. Yeah, this is fine. So, yeah, send it. We get smaller. I'll make a clue while I'm at it. Let's draw a card. Oh, Urza's Saga. That's not bad. I think I'm going to fetch, do Underground Sea, do Spellbomb, draw a card. That's not really what I'm looking for. I'll exile that graveyard. I'll plus here. I will go for another copy of Spellbomb and go ahead and cast that. And even if it doesn't resolve, I still have Fairy Macabre as a gotcha for my opponent. Land drop. Fetch. Surveil land. Crack Clue. Tamiyo plus. That's a little scary, actually. That can take the fairy, and then my opponent could, in theory, reanimate. If creature and reanimate are in hand. 15. Yeah, there's the Hapless Researcher for Archon. Okay, so opponent does not have it immediately, which is cool. So I will Emry that Spellbomb. Cast it. I think just play Urza's Saga plus my own Tamiyo and pass the turn. And it's currently my intention to Otawara my opponent's Tamiyo at the end of their turn. I mean, yeah, I will bite on that. Say yes, that's a lot of land. And that's enough for my opponent to go ahead and concede there, and I win the match. We are up to an even 2-2. Let's see if we can put up a positive record. GG's. Okay, I am on the play. My hand doesn't exactly do anything. I have Metalcraft, but not red mana. Mox Amber with no legendary creature. I have a redraw. I think I'd rather just mulligan. Yes. Otawara, Petal, Emry for 1, Tamiyo for 1, put back Galv Blast. Fuck yeah. Opponent says, hello, YouTube. Hello, Abdwayne. Second Lotus Petal. There's Emry. Not hitting artifacts. I can just replay a Lotus Petal from graveyard, though. Like, opponent says, wait, where's your Thalia? Bad news, friend. Thalia's been dead for years. Okay. I don't know if that's the right hit there. Tamiyo getting clues is really good, and my graveyard wasn't that stacked there. So there's Tamiyo. I'm going to leave the clue for now. Bloodstained Mire. Is that just a red flex land? Are you actually mono red? Oh shit, it's actual factual mono red. Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, this is like red aggro burn. Opponent's gonna get some decent damage out of Swift Spear. Where is my Shadow Spear? Are we Shadow Spear sideboard? Okay. I'm just gonna take this hit here. I'm gonna leave this uncracked. And my plan mostly just involves this Urza's Saga going wild. So yeah. Urza's Saga token is currently a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or 4 plus Emry. Goodbye, Tamiyo. We'll just take that clue token. And throw down Emry. Milling some middling stuff. My opponent gets to cycle. They could, in theory, have a pretty big turn. My Urza Saga construct tokens are outside of range of Lightning Bolt, which matters a lot. So I will make a friend, and we'll see what happens. Lava Dart on Emry, surveilling away a DRC. Lava Dart on Emry, notably a different Lava Dart. So my opponent could cast 2 more Lava Darts from Graveyard, bringing this to... Oh shit! Okay. Galv Blast is cool. So there's a 4/4. Not having Shadow Spear is a little rough. I think this is just Mox Opal, and then I have Galv Blast available. I think I do the one that flies. So ground is stable adjacent, but Lava Darts have some things to maybe say about that in a little bit. Fuck, Cori-Steel Cutter as a draw. Okay, do this. This is Fire Blastable. Yeah. 5/5. Let's go 5/5 with this being a redraw. But I don't need to take the redraw until my opponent's end step, I don't think. Lightning Bolt face. You've got it. 7. Some deck thinning and upkeep. No Surveil land. That is a card. The evasion is very good right now. What are you drawing? Chain Lightning. Okay. Redraw. Okay, okay. So, cast you, play Tamiyo, draw a card. It is a Scalding Tarn. I'll play that. Price of Progress is already disastrous. Thinking about drawing a card with a clue and transforming this. I think I need this here. I think my opponent's line is... Oh, I could actually pay for a Chain Lightning. Yeah. I could Chain Lightning this if my opponent does Chain Lightning pre-combat. Okay, yeah. I don't think I get to attack with this. So my block here is basically obligatory, despite how bad it feels. That gains me 3 life. Then I think my opponent should not cast this Chain Lightning. But they do. So I will go to 6. Oh fuck, it's one mana among colors. I don't have a red thing, so I can't actually reflect the Chain Lightning. I'm a liar. Fuck, was there a way to do that? In which case I should not have fetched. Yeah, because that does not make red. Fuck, I should have cracked that clue. Did not play this game super tight. I get another card draw there. That is a seat. Can swing back for 8. Dead in the air most of the time. I think my line is this. Scale this creature up. Sack this. It... Oh, fuck, it is Price of Progress. It Otawara was going to be what I was going to say. A Galv Blast. I do have Metalcraft. Price of Progress is going to annihilate me, though. So there's the Galv Blast. I need my opponent to not cast Price of Progress here so that I can untap and draw something. Yeah. So if I do this slightly differently, maybe I get 1 card deeper, which does not change anything. Yeah, potentially not having Shadow Spear in the deck in game 1 costs me that one. I will Shadow Spear, I will Hydroblast, I will Fatal Push, and I can think about Force of Negation. I don't need Pithing Needle. Aether Spellbomb is whatever. This Spellbomb is not particularly strong either. Flame is cool if I get going, but it kind of feels like Tamiyo or Emry or Isaac or Cori-Steel Cutter Kind of gets me to where I need to go. Trim one piece of mana. Trim one of these. I'm going to say no to that. My hands without functional mana aren't particularly strong. If I keep this, it's not even that good. It's hard for me to get Cori-Steel Cutter going. I have to use Lotus Petal to do it. And that means it's the Cori-Steel Cutter is my second spell for a turn. I think I'd rather go to 5. Yikes, okay. I mean, if we bottom out, we bottom out, and that's just that. In Shadow Spear, we trust on 4 cards. Playing Saga on 1? I don't think so. I'm going to hold these for 1 turn. And if I get punished with something stupid, I get punished with something stupid. Swift Spear is fine. I'll take 1. 19. Okay, cool. So there's Saga, Opal, Petal, 1 mana Emry. Oh, hell yeah. It's Lotus Petal and Cori-Steel Cutter as reasonable options, and I have Urza Saga Shadow Spear coming. Emry doesn't always make it around the table, right? Yeah. So goodbye Emry. Mox Opal not currently on. I'll take 2. A Galv Blast. I think I have to make my Construct token. So there's land drop. Slick Shot Show Off. Yes. I think I don't make my Construct. Opponent didn't attack with DRC. Now we're playing the priority game. So I take 3. I think I take 5 more so that I make my Construct. And it just doesn't feel good. So there is a 2/2. Now this Mox Opal is not online, unfortunately. However, it will be in a second. So there is the Shadow Spear. We're going to go ahead and go for the Equip. This is worth 4 life per turn cycle. More shortly thereafter. 15. I've got Galv Blast to kill something. Probably the Slick Shot Show Off. I think I just hold that open rather than play Tamiyo. Despite the fact that, like, Tamiyo is worth 1 life per turn that she attacks. Alright, Lightning Bolt to my face. Creatures get big. I'm at 10. These all swing in. I'm not blocking. I will Galv Blast the Show Off. I take 5, but I'm about to gain 4 back. As long as things go my way here, which they do. Very nice. So there's Tamiyo. I don't think I am playing Underground Sea to move Shadow Spear. It results in me taking more damage from Price of Progress. Arrakis. Very glad I didn't do that then. 4 theoretical damage. Yep. Lotus Petal means I gain 1 more life here. Send it. 6 and 10. I am fine with playing Rishadan Port. Land drop is what I want to see from my opponent. Oh, is my opponent going to let me gain 3 life? I think I'm into gaining 3 life. Otherwise, my opponent will just, like, bounce this before I attack. Gain 3 life. All day. Now I'll play this to hardcast Force of Negation without losing Lotus Petal. Send in for 5. Alright, opponent goes to 1. I'm at 15. I'm feeling pretty darn good here. Ooh, that's another land from my opponent. They show themselves the door. Okay, I would like to win 1 more game here, obviously. I have another Flame I could play. I could play Aether Spellbomb if I really felt like I wanted that tutorable bounce. Again, I think that's worse than Shadow Spear. I think on the draw, I am going to play 1 more removal spell. It's also not crazy to do Disruptor Flute on Price of Progress. This is fine. This has turn 1 Fatal Push for a creature of some nature. Red, Soulscar Mage. You've got it. That might be Force of Will fodder. I go Underground Sea and pass the turn. Land drop. Swift Spear. These triggers are fine. Fatal Push is good either way. Yep. Opponent can use that and then select with their fetch land if they don't like the card. No blocks. And then let's take out the Soul Scour Mage. Yeah. 18. Opponent takes a redraw. Bodies? I think I'm into bodies. So there's my first spell. Here's my second spell. I think I go this route now. Yeah, I think I do. Throw down the Emry. Those are redraws. I'm not the aggressor. I'll pass there. I'm not the aggressor, but I want that Emry in play. Land's fine. And the hope is just that I protect Emry and I start going out of control with Cori-Steel Cutter plus Bobble. The Bobble redraws are fine. I don't care about those. Gain 2 life? Nah, I'll take this. 15. Alright, cool. My opponent gets a redraw. Ooh, Galblast. Galblast is cool. So Emry, target Bobble. Do I need this available? Or can I just play this and draw another card? I think I can play this and draw another card. But then, like, maybe I should not have targeted the Bobble yet. That probably doesn't matter. So Cori-Steel Cutter trigger, Isaac trigger. So yes. Alright, cool. So this is all great. Am I the beatdown? I don't think so. I don't think I'm attacking with anybody here. What are you drawing? Mountain. Don't care about that one. I'll just pass turn here. And I've got Galblast available for something scarier than Swift Spear. Oh, nice. So that's not the mountain that they drew. Bobble's fine. Cracking, it's fine. Alright, it's coming in. I'm fine with some blocks here and making my opponent blow some resources. Price of Progress. That's not that much damage. It is 4 damage. That might be more damage than most of what my opponent's cards are doing, though. And this also just double triggers prowess on my end. I don't think I mind that. I'm not going to Galblast this. I just have it covered. So, now I'm going to become the beatdown. So there is my second Cori-Steel Cutter, which will draw me a card. Then I will target a Bobble. I will cast a Bobble. Triggers. So we're just gonna go yes across the board here. I'm not gonna play that land. I don't need it. Send it. Or 3 more damage. This is 7 damage to face. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, okay. Galblast. Triple Prowess. 12. Dead. I'm the burn deck now. So we do manage to pull up a positive record with this one. GG's. Alrighty. That was fun. Those were some grindy matches, though. We used a lot of clock today. Overall thoughts on the deck list? Pretty darn good. I think if you want to play with a bunch of free things, a bunch of free artifacts specifically, this is a pretty good way to do it. I wonder if the deck needs a land or 2 more. The deck is super good as long as it is casting its things, but when you get stuck, it does feel terrible. Like, I wonder if you want to, like, cut one one Urza Saga Tutor target and play 1 more land, or something like that, or if you want more Mox Opal. One of the lists that I was looking at did run the 4 full 4 Mox Opals, which is reasonable. I might go down to 2 Flame of Anor if I played again. It's totally fine, but I think I want just a couple more cards at 0 and 1 to help get me out of the early turns. Because, like, card advantage, card advantage, card advantage, card advantage, card advantage, like, that is a lot. I think I am okay getting, you know, another land or another mana rock or 2 in here. But generally speaking, I like what this deck has to offer quite a bit, and Edison, I hope you enjoyed this one, and thanks for supporting the content, as always. So with that, I think I'm going to call it a day. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good rest of the day. See ya!